Hey, what's up everybody? This is Joshua Casper. I'm back at you with Plugin Boutique, and today we're taking a look at the Transgressor by Boz Digital Lab. This is a really great plug, and this is actually something I've been seeing a lot more of, where the plugins take the incoming audio and dissect it into transients and body. In this case, they're calling it transients and sustain. And then you can affect the transients differently than the sustain, as opposed to just affecting everything at once, which is a really good idea for precision type stuff. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to clean up some reverb flanging stuff that I have in this drum clip. So let me just go ahead and play you what I have. So I have that clip there, and I really like it. It sounds very interesting, right? But that flange drives me insane. Like, I don't like it. There's also a lot of high-end noise that I also don't like. And whenever I put it inside of the track that it's a part of, I can hear it, right? It's bothering me so much. And I'm really pumped that I'm checking out this plugin because I found out how to get rid of just the part that I don't like, which is that reverb flange and that higher end stuff. So what I'm going to do is turn on the Transgressor while that's playing to show you how sweet it is. So here we go. Is that not incredible? Like, it still has the reverb, it's just gotten rid of the flange that I didn't like and that nasty little bit of high end. So let's go ahead and recreate this patch inside of the Transgressor so you can get an idea of how to do stuff and what does what and this and that. So let's go ahead and jump over here to, we can have an A, B, so we can jump back and forth. So I'm just going to go back to the A section and I'm going to hit the reset button, so make sure everything's at the default values. Now there are a few presets in here for kick, snares, and toms, but we're not going to worry about that because we have the idea of what we want and how to get there. So the first thing we're going to do is play it now. And the first thing I want to deal with is that flanging sound. And I know that has to do with the sustain section. What I'm going to do is actually come over here to this filter type over here. I'm going to go low pass and just kind of drag it over a little bit. So let's go ahead and see what that sounds like now. And that's great. And we're not quite there yet, but what's really, really cool about this is that I'm just affecting the sustained part of that flanging reverb, and I'm not affecting those really cool walking sounds. Because if I was to do this in a regular filter, for example, that transient would also be losing some of its grit and some of its punch, and we don't want to do that. I really like those footstep sounds, so the fact that I can control the sustain filter as opposed to everything is a big plus. So let's go ahead and get it a little bit better, right? I'm going to come over here to the detector and I'm going to turn on the hard cut here, and I'm actually going to turn the re-trigger, and this is how often it's going to look for transients, and I'm going to turn it down fairly low but not too low. So you can see when I turn on that hard cut and turn down the re-trigger, it's not recognizing those delayed sounds from the... It's not recognizing those as much as it did before. And that makes it a lot cooler for me because I really want to focus on just those steps and isolating those steps. The next thing I can do is cut off a little bit more of that high pass there. And again, this section right here is adjusting the incoming audio to the detector, which is splitting things up. So you're not going to hear this. You're just going to notice how the detector is detecting things. So anything above this line, I guess, is going to say is a transient, and it should filter to the transient section. Anything below it is sustained, so it would be filtered over there. So you're not really going to listen for anything here. You're just going to want to kind of hone it in over here on the detector. Cool. The next thing we're going to deal with is the release time for the transient. And like I said, I kind of want to keep the reverbiness of it with just getting rid of that flange part. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that release time. The final thing I can do is kind of give it a little gain boost over here in this transient section to make it even more knocky. And I'm going to turn down the release and actually turn this, cut off a little bit more, maybe pull up the low pass. Great, so let's go ahead and A/B that now with the one I had to begin with that I spent a little bit more time on, see how close we got in that short amount of time. So, I mean, I had a little bit more of a cutoff going on, and I had to release up a little bit higher, but we're very close, and we're doing exactly what I wanted to do and what I set out to do in the beginning, and it's happening very quickly and precisely, and it's so perfect, and I'm so pumped. Listen, I'm literally using this in a track that I'm making right now, and I'm using that sample, and that flange was bothering me so much, and the fact that I get to check out this plugin to share with you guys, and it works so quickly and so perfectly for what I'm trying to use it for is just, it's mind-boggling. So let's just go ahead before and after one more time. Beautiful. Anyway, I hope you learned something. Highly suggest the plug. We'll see you next time.